So let's talk about the 10 companies that you could hold and own and just forget about and let the compounding do the heavy lifting for you. Let's dive into it. I'm going to call this the 10 Forever Framework because these companies have three things in common. Number one, they have dominance. Number two, they have durability. And number three, they give you dividends. So we'll break all of them down and I'm going to put it into four simple categories so you can actually remember them. Category number one is we're calling the unshakable giants. And the companies that I want you to focus on are first, let's talk about Apple. So Apple isn't just a company, it's literally a lifestyle. You probably have an Apple phone just like I have right now. And you have AirPods and we have Apple Pay. And so you're probably using these things every single day. Now, Warren Buffett owns over, get this, $150 billion worth of Apple stock. He literally called it probably the best business that I know in the world. If Warren Buffett is saying that about Apple, that's a pretty good indicator it's one of those legacy companies and it's worth saying something. Company number two, Microsoft. Now, Microsoft is what happens when software meets consistency. So we use Office, Windows, Azure Cloud. It's literally everywhere. Now, Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's right-hand man, once said, it's a damn miracle company. That's why it's one of the top holdings in almost every major fund in the world. Number three, Amazon. Every time you click buy now, did you know that you're actually helping Amazon print money? Between Amazon Web Services and their logistic empire, they literally dominate two different industries at once. Now, Amazon's CEO and founder, Jeff Bezos, said, we're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time. And you know what? They don't care because it's that type of mindset that keeps Amazon consistently winning. Now, let's talk about the next company, and that is Alphabet, but you probably have heard it as Google. Now, Google controls over 90% of global search traffic. They literally dominate the market. Now, if knowledge is power, Google is the global power grid. Now, Warren Buffett again once admitted, I should have bought Google. Now, owning Alphabet is like owning a piece of the internet itself. So those are the companies that's in the unshakable giants category. Let's talk about the next category, which we'll call the timeless wealth builders. And the first company in this category, write this down, is Berkshire Hathaway. Now, this is actually Warren Buffett's holding company. So it's basically like an ETF run by the world's greatest investor. So they own companies like Apple, Coca-Cola, Geico, railroads, insurances, and a lot more. So if you don't want to just pick a stock, then you can just own the guy's company who's been beating the market for over 6 decades. The next company to look at in this category is a company I actually used to work for back in my pharmaceutical sales days, and that company is called Johnson & Johnson. Now, they don't just make medical products, but they make pharmaceuticals and a lot of other consumer health goods. Now, they've paid and raised dividends for over 60 years. This stock is a stock that your grandparents own and that your grandkids will still own. The next company in this section is a company called Procter & Gamble. So they have brands like Tide, Pamper, Gillette, Crest, all of these brands that you probably use on a daily basis without even thinking about it. That's called habit-based profits. So when people buy your products by reflex, that's a company built to last. So those are 3 companies that are in the timeless wealth builders. Let's talk about the next category, which we'll call the financial moats. So companies like Visa, every time someone swipes, taps, or clicks or pay now, Visa gets paid. It's a lot like Amazon. So they don't loan money, they just collect a fee. In Buffett's language, that's what we call a moat, a business that earns without having heavy risk. Another company in this category is a company called Coca-Cola. Yes, you know it, and I know it well. And this is actually one of Warren Buffett's all-time favorite companies, and he's held it for decades. And believe it or not, he drinks about 5 Cokes a day. And so, as he said, it's a simple business. An idiot can run it because someday one will. 61 years of dividends increases. This stock defines the word forever. So the last category we'll dive into is the innovation rockets. And you know what? There's only one company that we need to talk about in this category, and that company is called NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is the largest company in the world right now, and it's a company that's powering AI, gaming, robotics, and autonomous cars. So every single major tech breakthrough runs on NVIDIA's chips. That's a lot of chips. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, said, "We're at the beginning of a new industrial revolution. It's volatile, but it is the future." So here's how I want you to think about it. The 10 Forever framework, we're looking for dominance, the companies that own their own space. We're looking for durability, they survive recessions. And we're looking for dividends. They reward you for owning a piece of it, and they reward you for waiting. So you don't need to own everything. You just need to own the best things long enough for time to bless you and for compounding to work in your favor. Just imagine opening up your portfolio in 20 years and seeing these same 10 companies still standing, still paying, and still growing. That's the quiet games that millionaires play. They don't panic when the market dips. They smile because they know that time is their ally. So in closing, if this episode opened up your eyes at all and you want to learn how to actually build your forever portfolio, then I encourage you to join my free investing classes happening soon. Now what we'll do is we'll just dive deeper into how to buy, how to diversify, and how to make these types of stocks really work for you. So all you got to do is just click on the link in the show notes, and then we'll get you in and you can register. So let's learn, grow, and build freedom together. Just remember this: time is a friend of the wonderful company, but the enemy of the mediocre. And that's what Warren Buffett said. So you don't have to trade your way to freedom. You just have to own the right companies long enough with the right mindset. So I'm Jamil Frazier, and this is The Difference. We'll see you on the next one.